Welcome everybody to update number 56. I know it's been a while since we've had an update, but it's been really hectic in terms of new releases and the like, so I haven't really bought all that much in terms of older releases, but yeah, I finally accumulated enough to justify a video. And yeah, thanks to Studio Canal having a really rather nice sale on for their vintage classics. I've got several of theirs. So the first of which is Yield to the Night. Not seen this one yet, but I've heard really good things, especially from the lead actress Diana Dawes. So yeah, looking forward to seeing this. So basically it's about a woman who's in jail for a murder that she's committed, and you basically have a flashback series of events of her telling about how she got to that point in jail. So yeah, sounds interesting, and for a film from the 50s to be rated a 15 must have some violent moments to it. And then we have The Servant, starring Dirk Bogarde. Heard really good things about this before, so yeah, looking forward to getting around to this eventually. But yeah, a lot of people have said this is a classic of the era, and yeah, it's been given 2 discs as well, with the future and the special features on the other disc. So yeah, clearly a release that has had plenty going for it, and in fact it's got a couple of new extras on this as well, including Locations Featurette with Adam Scoville and new video essay with film historian Matthew Sweet and film critic Wong Lei. So yeah, they've clearly put some effort into this one, although to be honest these are obviously older releases. I think they're from like 2020, 21 or something like that. Then we have a very early Sean Connery film. In fact, this is pre-James Bond, and that is The Frightened City. Also got a really good cast in the form of Herbert Lom and John Gregson, as well as Alfred Marks and Yvonne Remain. So yeah, it's not his best film from Sean Connery by any means, especially in terms of outside of the James Bond series, but still a really good gangster film from 1961, I believe. Yeah. So a year before Doctor No released, and whether or not this had any influence on him getting that role, I don't know, but still, it's interesting to see him before his Bond fame became a reality. And then we have The Blue Lamp. Now, this is one I have seen, and it is really rather good. Again, stars Dirk Bogarde as well as Jack Warner, and yeah, it's a solid little crime film. But yeah, nothing that will blow you away, but should be enjoyable enough. And considering it's only 82 minutes long, it's hardly going to outstay its welcome. Then we have The Techman Mystery, which, yeah, I really rather enjoyed this. It's really well directed by Wendy Toye, and yeah, it got a good cast as well, although I will admit I've not seen much from them before. But yeah, it's got a really solid mystery at its heart. It doesn't have much in the way of spectacle or action scenes or anything like that, but it makes up for it for the fact that it does have a solid mystery at its heart, and really rather engrossing characters as well. Then we have the newest release from Studio Canal. This is not part of the special offers that they had on, and it is The Ship That Died of Shame, starring the great Richard Attenborough and George Baker. And yeah, this is really good. I highly recommend it. It's a nice different kind of twist to the typical World War II kind of film, although only part of it actually is set in World War II. Most of it is set after the fact, but yeah, those events during World War II definitely have some impact on this film. You've also got an early performance from Bernard Lee. I think it's an early performance, yeah, 1955. So again, like with Sean Connery, pre-Bond by 7 years at that point. And yeah, it's a really good film. It's got kind of a supernatural twist to it as well, because the ship slowly becomes disgruntled with the actions of those that are, part of her crew, and she starts to break down, starts to play up, even though during the war she never put a foot wrong. So yeah, it's really interesting in that regard. And then we have a release from Premium Collection. Now, I've not bought much lately from the Premium Collection because I'm, at the end of the day, I have well over 100 of their releases, so there's not much else in there. But I think considering it is Halloween and it is a spooky season, I get a horror film from them that I don't yet have, and that is Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. And this is apparently a TV film, but I've never seen it before. It's only 71 minutes though, so it's not going to take up too much time to find out whether it's good or not, but I do hope it is actually good. And yeah, it's got a really nice slipcover to it, and you also get some art cards and a poster as well. And yeah, I'm not sure if these premium collection films are still in print nowadays or they're just selling off their excess stock. But this was part of a 2 for 15 on horror sale, so yeah, whether or not they're selling them off or not, I'm not sure. I do hope the premium collection comes back at some point, but it's all down to the studios at the end of the day because they're the ones that own the rights, and if they say no, then they're going to say no. So yeah, these are the art cards, minor spoilers. I don't imagine it's going to be too violent given it is a TV film, because obviously TV ratings and the like come into the play with this, and there's the poster. So yeah, obviously it can't be too violent on TV because more people can obviously watch TV than they can necessarily watch a film. It's harder to regulate who is watching a TV program at the time. And that's a poster as well, which again is the same artwork as that previous art card. So yeah, nicely done. Hopefully it's going to be worth it. I'm not too big on TV films. I've very rarely seen a TV film that I've absolutely loved. So yeah, hopefully that will book the trend. And then we've got a brand new 4K release from Studio Canal. We got U571. Now I know this takes great liberties with historical fact. The Americans did not find the German encoding machine first. It was the British. But still, really good cast. Excellent action. Really tense submarine thriller. And yeah, looks absolutely superb on 4K as well. And yeah, discs are printed the same pretty much. But still, it's a really, really nice restoration. And yeah, again, it's another Studio Canal film. And yeah, I've had plenty of those recently, you know, with The Wicker Man on 4K, The Others on 4K, and now also that film as well. So yeah, Studio Canal are really kicking it out of the park really right now. And then finally from Imprint, we have two big box sets from them that came out earlier this year. I think they were in July, but I've only just gotten around to them now because I was kind of holding off on them because I wasn't too sure. But I'm glad I finally got them. And the first one is the film focus of Gene Hackman. Surprised I held off as long as I did on this because I absolutely adore him as an actor. I've seen so many of his films that I've loved. Obviously, you got your likes like your classics like The French Connection and The Conversation, but there's plenty of other of his great films that really do need to be seen, quite frankly. And these are four of those that I believe haven't had too much of a showing before. Fortunately, it's got a little bit damaged in transit, but at the end of the day, it's coming all the way from Australia, so the fact that it's coming in any kind of good condition is always a plus point. So yeah, not going to be too hard up about it, and at the end of the day, I'm not going to ask for a refund or anything like that, considering how much it's cost to get here in the first place. So the first film in this collection is I Never Sang for My Father, which has Melvin Douglas in it as well. Don't know much about this. There's no extras on it. Much like the George Peppard box set didn't have a couple of extras. A couple of films didn't have any extras on them, so it's much the same with this release by the looks of it. But still, hopefully that'll be a good film. And then we have Bite the Bullet, which again has a decent cast. You got James Coburn in a supporting role. Looks like a kind of a western. But still, regardless, looks pretty good. And this at least has an isolated score audio track by Alex North and a theatrical trailer. Although granted, that's not a huge amount of extras. But there's the man again with a great looking moustache and a nice hat. Then thirdly, we have what looks like a conspiracy thriller, The Domino Principle. Now this might be right up my street, to be honest, because I really rather enjoyed Gene Hackman in a premium collection film. I wish I had the premium collection next to me, but I've recently put them away. I've forgotten it now, but it's basically the one with the plane at the end that shoots at Gene Hackman and someone else, and yeah, lots of death happens, but still, this looks good, and it's got a lot of extras on it. It's got a 1080p high definition presentation of a 2K scan. You got an audio commentary by film historian Howard Berger and David Nicholson Ferraggio. Then you got Stanley Kramer, Man Out of Time, video essay by Howard S. Berger. Then you got a devil's advocate actress Karen Sharp on Stanley Kramer. Now all three of those are from 2023. Then you got the manipulators behind the scenes on the Domino Principle, a vintage featurette, and a theatrical trailer. So yeah, this hopefully is going to be the one that I'm going to enjoy the most, because I really like Stanley Kramer's films, although he Did he direct this? Yes, he did. But he also produced it as well. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of Stanley Kramer, so hopefully this will live up to his other films. And finally, from this box set, we have March or Die. Got Mox Van Sydow in there as well. Not long after The Exorcist, only 4 years after The Exorcist, where he looked a lot older than he actually was due to makeup. But yeah, this has a bunch of extras on it as well. Again, a 1080p high definition presentation of a 2K scan from the original negative. Audio commentary by film historians Howard S. Berger and Steve Mitchell. Of Blood and Time, The Weary Worlds of Dick Richards, video essay by Howard S. Berger. You got Marched and Died, interview with actor Paul Sherman. All three of those are from 2023. And a theatrical trailer. Which is, yeah, all looks very good there. That Gene Hackman's in a kind of a authoritative role there. And then finally from Imprint, we have the biggest box set that I have had yet. And that is the directed by Sidney J. Fury box set, which despite weighing a lot more than the previous box set, hasn't had the same kind of damage. So that is at least nice in that regard. So yeah, this features 5 films, and unlike their other box sets, actually comes with a booklet. So yeah, they've clearly put a little bit more effort into this one than they have in the previous ones, although the effort is still worthwhile. So yeah, that's the back of it. I forgot to show you the back of the Gene Hackman one, which also has a quote. Let's get it back on. So there we go. So yeah, if you can convince people what you're doing is real and it's also bigger than life, that's exciting. I agree with you, Gene Hackman there. And then on the back of this one we have, what do we have? One of the best directors in the whole of my career and one of the greatest friends. I wouldn't have had a career without his brilliance from Michael Caine. Not sure if this features a film with Michael Caine in it. We'll have to have a look, but still. Looks like an interesting enough box set, to be honest. It's got a wide variety of genres as well here. So the first of which we have from 1970 is The Lawyer, which has Barry Newman in it. Really enjoyed, I think it was him anyway, I really enjoyed him in the, where is it, 1970, yeah, Fear is the Key, which had a superb car chase in that film. Not necessarily expecting that with this, but yeah, still. Not going to go through all the extras on this release because there's a ton on just this disc alone. So yeah, you can see the extras on the Imprint website, but yeah, it has had at least a 4K scan from the original negative in that regard. And then we have Little Faust and Big Halsey with Robert Redford and Michael J. Pollard. This looks like something kind of like Easy Rider aspects in some regard. The bike and the like. Again, this has a 2K scan from the original negative, and that's all of the extras on it. So you can kind of see why I don't want to go through every film in terms of what extras are on there, because I'd be here to the end of time. But still, hopefully this will be another film I enjoy. And then we have from 1973, the previous one was also from 1970, like the first film, is Hit. Now, this looks like a little bit less of a comedy role for Richard Pryor, who is in this film, although he could easily be the comedic relief in this film, but I don't know. But it's also got Billy D. Williams in it, and again, has a whole host of extras, including a 2K scan. So, yeah. Hopefully will be good. And there's the inside. Then the fourth film is the one I'm a little bit less certain about, but still hopefully will be good, and it is Sheila Levine is Dead and Living in New York. So this stars Roy Schneider. That's the main reason to bother with this film, quite frankly, because yeah, I'm a big fan of his. And there's the inside with Roy Schneider himself. And again, this has a 4K scan from the original negative and all of those extras. So yeah, a lot of them. And fifth and finally, we have from 1978, Sheila Levine was from 1975, The Boys in Company C. So yeah, again, this doesn't seem like the typical genre I go for. I'm not particularly a big fan of sports films, especially outside of racing. But again, 2K scan from the original negative, all of those extras on it. So yeah, they've put a lot of effort into this box set, seemingly more so than, say, the George Peppard box set and the Gene Hackman one. But still, effort is always welcome, regardless of whether it's, you know, consistent across all of their releases. So yeah, that's a lot of films, and yeah, like I said, it also comes with a booklet, which yeah has the write-ups. Moving On to Nowhere by Brad Stevens. And you got a whole host of posters from all the various films that are in this box set. I think that is the entire book. Nope, the entire book is not on that one write-up. I just missed it then. Then you got Sidney J. Fury, Mirror of New Hollywood by Matthew Asprey Gear. Then, yeah, I think there's only 2 write-ups, but that's still pretty good. And I think that's Billy D. Williams there in front of a clearly shot up piece of glass. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, but it's nice to have a booklet from Imprint. We don't usually get these, so yeah, that's a bit of a rarity. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you've seen any of these films before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on them. But obviously, I've not seen any of the Sidney J. Fury films or the Gene Hackman one, and I haven't seen The Servant or Yield to the Night or Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. So yeah, still got a lot of films in this update to watch, but hopefully all of them will be enjoyable in some regard. Nonetheless, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.